Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Fire signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Fire signs, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be doing your reading today with two decks. First one, the overall energy from the Elemental Oracle, and then your tarot reading with the Radiant Wilds Tarot. Cards have been pre-shuffled for the fire signs and their career reading. Whoa. One moment. Okay. That just flew right off the table. Number 30, which reduces to a 3, which is the Empress card. My favorite card in the tarot, because the Empress is divine feminine. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine energies. Divine feminine, she's the ultimate of the divine feminines. The power of all four queens of the tarot. She knows her worth, her value. She's the power that is kind of behind the Emperor, but not to say that in any way she's subservient to the Emperor. She occupies her own regal space and is the master attractor. So it's the sense when we're in Empress energy, we just know that we're amazing. We radiate and vibrate at a very high frequency. And the more that we emit that energy, the more it is returned to us. It's just a belief, just a true belief in who we are. This is absolutely fantastic. The word is oceans, or the location is oceans, but the word above it, bravery. And isn't that just so fitting for the fire sign? So yes, it's oceans. So it suggests to me that perhaps part of this exploration into, your career and the way that you contribute your gifts, talents, skills, abilities to society often involve a sense of, stepping outside our comfort zones for sure, but what causes us to step outside our comfort zones besides being forced? It's getting over our fear, and our fears wrapped up in kind of death drive responses, if we're looking at it psychologically, I guess, but also just the feelings, right? This ocean is suggesting it's the feelings of inadequacy, of failure, of ridicule, of whatever, all these kind of negative feelings that we have to get over so that we can be trailblazers. I also see here with this character's arms outstretched that there's been a sense of balance about you, that perhaps you've had to do a lot of looking at your life in terms of your career and thinking that there has to be work-life balance. Ideally, that expression, they're giving it to me now, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? Not everybody has that luxury, but Spirit brought it to my attention because fire signs are just the kind of people that would want to do what they love. And in order to do that, you have to figure out what it is that you love, right? In order to attract it towards you. So we're going to get 3 cards to start out with. It's going to be challenges, successes, and advice from Spirit. And when I talk about career, I'm not just talking about the place where you get your paycheck. It could be that, but also the you know, maybe, you know, you're a stay-at-home partner, and, you know, you have a lot of projects and a lot of interests. It's the majority of, it's where you spend the majority of your time, where you invest the majority of your time. That falls under career for me, for the purposes of this reading. So we're going to look at challenges first, please, Spirit, for the fire signs. Challenges. Thank you. And then successes and advice from Spirit. Okay. So an extra card came out. I'm actually going to read this extra card at the end because Spirit wants me to do that. So that's going to stay there till the end. That's going to be, Spirit's just like, that's the last word. So, okay, that's the last word. Challenges. 9 of Cups in reverse. Well, 9 of Cups in the upright talks about wish fulfillment. This place where we are self-satisfied and proud of our accomplishments, and wow, it's so crazy. Like for a split second, I was looking in that portal and the clouds started to move. That's crazy. That's never happened to me before. The clouds feel like they're moving. What? There's significance to this. I've looked at this card many times. I never felt like the clouds were moving. Okay, so when I think of clouds moving, especially in a scenario like this, it goes very slowly. Or at least we perceive the clouds moving slowly from the ground. And so I almost feel as if you are looking at the things that you've been wishing for and thinking, my wishes have not yet arrived. They have not yet arrived, especially if we're referencing the Empress energy. It's just like, well, it's not that you don't think you deserve them, because clearly the Empress knows that she deserves them. But it's almost as if like everything upside down, right? So it's like skewed a little bit. So perhaps you've had to make decisions regarding your career that were not quite your wishes. So for example, let's say you wanted to work for a nonprofit. I live outside a major metropolis, so like there are a lot of nonprofits around, and a nonprofit is still a business, and they still have to pay people, and they still have to, you know, gather funding, grants, all that kind of stuff. And it's hard work. But in your mind, when you were younger, you wanted to work for a nonprofit. You wanted to help the people and do good in the world. So you took the first nonprofit that you got, first nonprofit job, and then you got there and you realized, you know, maybe it's a lot of paperwork. It's, you don't directly see the outcome of the work, right? Like if you're trying to help families in other countries, or raise money, or provide educational services, whatever, right? I'm just putting something out there. You might not be in the position to like go to that country and see how everything that you contributed to in terms of work led to an outcome of somebody building a school, right? You may never travel to that country, even though you're helping them, but you may never go there and see it for yourself. And it's kind of like not what you imagined a nonprofit to be. This is just an example. But, so it's kind of like you got what you wanted, you work for a nonprofit, but what you thought it was and what it actually is are two different things. And so this is kind of the energy of the challenge that I see for you right now, that it's still beautiful, you know, radiating a lot of it's still a beautiful energy. Like anytime I see rainbows, I think of like prisms and crystals, and prisms especially, it's like this light shining through, and then it comes out as this thing that was formerly invisible becomes visible, right? So there's kind of a sense of magic. There's a science to it, yes, but it also feels like magic to me. So you're trying to create magic, but it's almost like you're on the other side of this and all you see is the sky. You don't see the magic behind it. And it's causing you to feel perhaps a little not so satisfied. So let's get a clarifier on the challenge position. Thank you, Spirit. The Magician. And there's that rainbow again, but it's almost like we're seeing it from a different perspective. So Spirit is kind of showing me that yes, you did manifest this. You manifested this. It's just fine. We don't have to say, oh well, you asked for it, so too bad, so sad. Like, it's not about that. It's, look at that. Look at that. So it's like you had this vision. Thank you, Spirit. You had this vision in your mind, right? It's like boop, 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 boop. Like, I don't know why it's like a race. It's like green light. You had this in your mind and it came to pass. And, you could be up here unable to see. It's almost like your higher self can see the bigger picture. So it is, I feel, we could say that all parts of our lives are part of a plan, or, there were paths that we were meant to walk. I feel as though you did manifest whatever situation that you're in, and if you're saying to me, I'm not happy with my situation, I'm still gonna say, because I'm being shown it here, that somehow you manifested it. And that's how powerful we are, right? So if you could manifest that, you can manifest something else. I'm not actually seeing you wanting to leave a situation. I just think that you need a little bit more. You want to see, it's like you need more of a reward system. It's not enough that you're doing the tasks, that you want to feel kind of almost a emotional attachment to it. But this is the challenge right now, because you can't see that right now. And so therefore it ends up making you think that you're just kind of in this desert landscape when there's so much kind of sustenance. What are your successes right now, Knight of Pentacles? It's the fact that you took steps at all. The fact that you're brave where others would hesitate. That you see the long road in front of you and you don't debate on whether or not you're going to step on that path. You simply step on the path. It's not even simple. There's so many people, and I'm gonna say this because I had to think about it too. We often forget because we're just very hard on ourselves as humans. I mean, a lot of people are. There's some people who are not hard on themselves at all, and they should be. But by and large, we can be hard on ourselves. We can be very self-critical, and then we can have criticism come from external places. So sometimes that can skew our perspective of our accomplishments and what we've offered to the world in manners great or small. And so if I say to you, the successes that you have, or the fact that you've been a Knight of Pentacles, you've been brave to walk through doors of opportunity. As a fire sign, you might be like, are you kidding? Like, I do that in my sleep. I walk through doors of opportunity in my dreams. Like, I'm always doing it. And it's just like, okay. But comparatively to other people, it's like you can't see the whole perspective on the fact that there are a lot of people that can't do that. And because it comes so naturally to you, you might not see that as an accomplishment. And because you can't see that as an accomplishment, you may not be thinking that you've accomplished anything at all. Like, see how how I'm kind of seeing that in my mind? It's this idea of maybe perfectionism or overachievement, rather overachievement. You know, sometimes I forget. So, like in a former life, well, in this life when I was 20 years younger, you know, I went to school for fine arts, and then I got a master's degree in education, and then I pursued a doctorate in education. And I took all my coursework, but I didn't finish my degree. So I technically can write on like a resume, PhD, ABD, which is all but dissertation, because I passed all the coursework. And it's kind of a shame. Like, sometimes I feel ashamed of like the fact that, okay, Spirit's telling me not be ashamed. Okay. Sometimes I feel whatever, complicated about the fact that I didn't finish my PhD. And I go down that cycle of like comparing myself to others who have. And then I like really step back and think about it and kind of want to smack myself and saying, first of all, how blessed are you that you got like a first-class education and that you went to college at all? And secondly, why are you, see, like a speeding car going by, it's kind of like, why are you trying to compete with other people? Why are you trying to contrast yourself? Just be proud of these accomplishments, because not everybody has done those things. It's just like, oh, okay. And I'm not saying this just because it like makes me any better or worse than the next person, but it's like sometimes I think about that, and I think about the path that I could have gone on and the path that I'm on now, which is it feels so peculiar to me. But I never felt the level of passion for what I was studying as what I'm doing right now in this moment. Like, ever. Like, yeah, I was in school. You go to school long enough, you come out with something. But I've never felt the kind of joy that I feel when I read tarot, right? It's something that I do for money, and it's something I do for free, and I just do it because I love it, because I feel compelled to do it. So there's this sense here, and Spirit wanted me to tell the story because it's like, you're doing a lot of that right now. Like, you're really downplaying your accomplishments. And that's surprising to me, because the fire signs I know don't really do that. But sometimes they do. Get down on yourself sometimes, because you think you should be doing more and more and more and more and more. Let's celebrate the steps, the first steps, the bravery. The overall energy of this reading is about bravery. You were brave where others were fearful, right? And we're not trying to compare, just using it as an example. Let's get a clarifier. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. See? Yeah. Queen of Pentacles in reverse to clarify this. It's like, yeah, I took a first step, but I mean, I'm not really where I want to be. I want to be the queen energy. It's kind of like, can we just, fire signs, can we just appreciate this and like understand that between here and here is the journey, right? Between this and this kind of up leveling is the journey in between. I don't want to belabor that point. I feel like I have already. Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is really fully aware of her abundance, her beauty, her capacity to be generous. And Maybe you don't feel as though you're in a position to be that way right now. But the successes are not about like what you're, the successes are not about what you feel like you're lacking, but more what you're cultivating. Eventually you'll be able to give, but you have to, it's like you have to fill your own coffers. You have to fill your own cup first. Like truly, like from the heart space, in order to be in the position to then give to others. Giving to others is a lot of energy. Advice from Spirit, 8 of Wands in the reverse. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Spirit is saying, it's not a race. Because I hear that like loud, obnoxious car in my mind. And they're saying it's not a race. None of this has ever been a race. Right? Because look at this character. Have you ever seen like a hamster on a hamster wheel, or like a cat on like an exercise wheel? They don't realize that like walking slowly, right, is just fine. But they start running on it. And then they start outpacing themselves, and then they start running faster and faster and faster before the wheel starts moving out of control. And the cat gets literally so tired that it flips upside down and like crashes. Right? There's a lack of awareness that we have to be steady at this time in how we move. Otherwise, you know, imagine if she started moving faster and faster and faster, this would run away from her and she'd fall right off. That's what Spirit is showing me very clearly when they're telling you to slow down. A clarifier on that. Why? Why do the fire signs need to slow down? Knight of Swords, because there's still some information that needs to come in about the journey. Knight of Swords is all about air energy and revealing some important facts, figures, or truth of a situation. So there's still something that needs to be revealed to you that has not yet been revealed. And if you go too fast, you're going to miss it. It's almost like, it's like ships passing in the night. Whatever night is coming in, whatever person, this is another person, this is not you. Well, there's somebody here that's going to provide some clarity to you. And if you don't slow down, you're going to miss it. I see this as a kind of earth angel or somebody who's channeling a message. You know, I have seen people channel messages. It's almost like an archangel stepped into that person and channeled a message to me in that moment and then stepped right out. I've seen it happen on more than one occasion with people who had no idea that they were channeling. And they gave me a message that was so profound and then just like walked away casually. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I feel is going to happen. Somebody's going to approach you and, you know, they might be like Joe from accounting, right? Like, I don't know. I work with a lot of accountants, so like that was funny to me that I just said Joe from accounting. But it could be somebody that you don't have a lot of interaction with. Could be somebody at the corner store. Could be your parent. But you're going, if you slow down and you become very aware of your own self and your surroundings, somebody is going to channel a message to you that will provide a lot of insight. The last card that Spirit wanted me to save is the last word, 8 of Cups in reverse. That's double 8 here. So you might see 8, 8. 8 of Cups is normally a card of walking away from a situation. Here's that world again. Isn't that beautiful? What a beautiful synchronicity there. And again, it's the sense like if we stray too far off the path, we could just fall right over. You got this card in the reverse, though, as the last word. Eight of Cups in the reverse talks about a homecoming. But for you, I feel as though it's like a coming back to the self. There's going to be a return to the self that is going to be very, very important for you. This next leg of your career path. That's your reading, fire signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notifications to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, fire signs.